You've been told that making your dream life come true takes constant work, that you have to do complicated routines, visualize for hours on end, say perfect affirmations, and work hard all the time to raise your vibration. What if, though, the real key to quantum production is easy to find? It's really that easy that almost everyone misses it. There are an infinite number of options in the quantum field you are living in right now. A field that doesn't react to your fight, but to how you're aligned inside. Still, most people treat appearance like a fight. Through simple willpower, they try to change the way things are. They say affirmations that they don't really believe, picture outcomes that they secretly doubt, and think happy thoughts even though their nervous system is still stuck in fear, lack, and stress. This is the point where everything goes wrong, because pushing against something in the quantum world makes it resist you. I'm going to make this very easy for you. There is no such thing as getting what you want with quantum manifestation. You can pick the version of reality where you already have what you want. It's not about first changing the outside world. It's about becoming the frequency inside you that automatically draws that world to you. Everything that could happen is stored in the quantum field. There is success and failure, plenty and lack, love and loneliness, and health and sickness. As probability waves, all of these are real at the same time. But the most important thing to remember is that these waves only become real to you when they meet an aware observer. That person looking is you. Your focus, how aware you are, and how you feel all affect your world. Still, most people get stuck in a cycle. They are looking through the lens of fear. They're looking at what's not there. They're sending out the energy of lack while they want to bring in wealth. In quantum words, this doesn't make a clear signal. It makes noise and interference. You've been taught to chase after what you want, but when you really master creation, you stop having to chase. This is the version that knows, I'm already linked to the life I want. The field reacts to the energy I send out. Being tougher isn't my job, to get more connected. Why don't more people do this? Because it's too easy to be simple. Because it scares me to let go. Because giving up the chase feels like giving up. But there is a beautiful truth that changes everything. When you no longer need something badly, the field is free to bring it to you. Take a moment to think about this. Think back to a time when something great just happened. It's possible that you met the right person at the right time, found a great opportunity you weren't even looking for, or had a great idea while you were relaxing. In what ways did these times connect? You weren't pushing them. You weren't having a hard time. You were ready, open, and coordinated. You didn't even know it, but that's quantum manifestation at work. Take a moment to think about this. Think of a time when something beautiful just happened. Leave a word or two in the comments to describe that moment, like synchronicity, flow, or grace. Naming these feelings helps your brain remember that it's normal to feel at ease. You can't talk to the quantum field. It reads your signature of energy. You could say, I am abundantly wealthy, but the field will show you your true self if your body is sending out fear. Your heart is clenched with lack, and your nervous system is set up to survive. Not because it's mean, but because it's very clear. Now for the big change, quantum manifestation starts when you stop thinking about what you want and start thinking about what you can become. You turn into the light. You are the frequency. You let your feelings, not your work, guide you. This is something that most manifestation teachers won't tell you, though. Your energy broadcast has 3 layers that most people don't even know about. The aware mind is the top layer. This is what you're thinking about right now. The second level is your mental body, which is what you're really feeling behind your thoughts. Your cellular memory is the third and most powerful layer. These are the patterns and memories from the past that are saved in your body and keep sending out even when you're not aware of them. A lot of people only work on the top level. They try to change the way they think about things. Even so, the quantum field reads all three layers at the same time. And if they don't match, the field reacts to the stronger signal, which is usually the memory in the cells. This is why someone can think positively about money even though their body still has cells that remember being poor as a child, and the field keeps reflecting back financial problems. When you learn to line up all three layers, you'll make a big step forward. Most people have been taught one way to do this, but this needs a different method. It takes what I call quantum coherence, which is the practice of combining your feelings, thoughts, and cellular memory into a single signal. This brings up a very important question. What exactly changes the quantum field? Has it only to do with feelings, thoughts, ideas, or actions? How do you make these parts work together so they don't send mixed messages? This is where a lot of lessons about manifestation fail. They only work on one part, normally your thoughts or feelings, and don't look at how your whole system works as a whole. They make you think positively without healing your body's wounds. They teach you how to visualize without helping you get rid of the bad habits that are holding you back. They tell you to think about success even though your body is still ready for loss. The quantum field, on the other hand, reacts to your whole signal, the whole transmission that you are making. That's why harmony is more than just a state of mind. There is a change in the whole body, system, and area. We'll look at how the quantum field really works in the next section. What wave collapse really means, why the observer principle is important, and how your mind sends out rhythms even when you're not aware of it. We'll show you the beautiful science behind things that seem magical, and I'll explain why manifestation works best when you don't try to make it happen. Let's move on to the next question. Where in your life are you trying so hard to get things done that you've become the problem you're trying to solve? Are you ready to go further with me? Let's find the secret you've been making up without realizing it. You can't make the quantum field do what you want it to do. It is reacting to how you are aligned inside. The quantum field is like a perfect mirror. When your feelings, thoughts, and actions all work together in sync, the message is very clear. The frequency stays steady, and the field responds almost right away. The message gets lost, though, when you think one thing, feel another, and act on a totally different thought. What you see back from the field is not clarity, but chaos. This is where the witness principle comes in handy. It's one of the most important ideas in quantum physics. At the quantum level, particles are just possibility. This is known to scientists as a wave function. But when an observer like you focuses on a certain prospect, that wave falls apart and becomes real. Potential turns into a solid. The possible turns into the real. What can't be seen becomes clear. But here's the important part. The viewer is more than just your mind. Your unconscious mind is also part of the viewer. This means that the field can pick up on your unconscious's message of fear, shortage, or survival mode, even if you are aware that you want plenty. Your unconscious mind takes over as the real observer and makes a world happen that you didn't choose. This is why lots of people feel stuck. They are lining up their outer thoughts, but they are ignoring the deep training that is going on inside. When you go into the quantum world, the unconscious always wins. Now things really start to get interesting. According to new scientific studies, something called predictive processing has been found in the brain. Based on what you've seen and done in the past, your brain is always making guesses about what will happen. What you see and feel is actually affected by these predictions. So if your unconscious is set up with patterns of not having enough, being rejected, or struggling, your brain will literally plan for and make experiences that match those patterns. This is why it's not enough to just change the way you think. You need to make changes to the models of prediction that are running in your mind. You need to teach your nerve system new ways to feel safe, full, and trusting. This doesn't happen when you think about it. It happens when you feel things and have experiences that make new neural paths and cellular memories. Things get even more interesting in the science. Scientists like Bruce Lipton and Joe Dispenza have shown that the heart makes its own electric field that is much stronger than the brain's. This heart field goes out into the bigger quantum field around you and interacts with it. Having a strong, clear feedback from your heart and brain is called being in sync. The information is weak and spread out when they are not in sync. This is why trying to create only with your mind doesn't always work. The quantum field doesn't get a clear signal to bounce back without the emotional part, the felt sense of alignment. A lot of people get lost here. They want to change by thinking about it. But what they really need to do is feel their way into balance. If you're ready to stop thinking and start feeling, say this in the comments. I trust my body's wisdom. This is your permission slip to stop living in your head and start paying attention to what your body has been telling you all along. You can't just tell the field what you need. You need to become the active match for what you want. Harmonizing your body, your breath, your nervous system, your views, and the things you do every day are all part of this. This is not a one-time thing. It's how you live. Let us look at a real case. Let's say you want to attract a loving partner. You can write mantras, make vision boards, and picture the person you want to be with. However, if you feel unworthy, your nervous system expects rejection, and your heart is guarded and afraid to be open, the quantum field can feel that internal struggle. It finds the conflict. What do you get back? There will be more longing, searching, and links that are almost there but not quite. The universe is not against you. It's because it exactly matches your main frequency. So what makes the change? The shift takes place when you feel whole in this moment and practice the feelings you want to have before they show up. By being in the state of already having it, the field can make that fact come true. You first become the frequency, and then the actual world appears. Most people miss another important point, though. How important it is to practice what I call energetic hygiene. Just like you need to brush your teeth every day to keep your mouth healthy, you need to do things every day to keep your energy clear. This means getting rid of the stress, worry, and fear that builds up over time, because we live in a world that often promotes thinking about lack. 3 easy but effective things are part of energetic hygiene. First, clear your energy by actively letting go of the emotional buildup from the day. You can do this by doing breath work, moving, or just putting your hand on your heart and letting yourself feel and let go. Second, frequency tuning means choosing thoughts and feelings that match the world you want, even if it's only for a few minutes a day. Third, field protection means being aware of the energies you bring into your area through media, conversations, or places you visit. Your signal to the quantum field is clearer and more reliable when you take care of your energy. You aren't sending mixed messages or carrying around energetic junk that makes it hard for your creation process to work. It may seem like a lot, but here's the simple but powerful truth. The quantum field responds faster the more you let go of control over the result, and the more you focus on managing your own state. That's why I say it's easy, but no one does it. Because people like things that are complicated. We need 10 steps, 5 secrets, and a method that works every time. The quantum field isn't a machine, though. There is an image. It's someone to dance with. It's alive, sensitive, and smart, and it wants you to meet it with a calm, present body. Now I want to take you a step further in this exercise. Now take a deep breath. Pay attention to how your body feels as you read this. Take note of where you're hanging on to tension. Think about the talk going on in the background, and let go for a moment. Let go of the stress. Get rid of the need to force, rule, and figure out everything. Right now, feel what it's like to be at peace, without anything having to change. This is where your real power is. That's right. Hit that subscribe button right now if you feel this shift, and if this truth is rising inside you. This isn't just about following a channel. It's about connecting with a group of mindful creators. You make a steady way for this energy to come into your life when you subscribe with purpose. What you're telling the quantum field is, I am ready for regular alignment, ongoing transformation, and sustained coherence. When you subscribe, you make an energetic promise to your own evolution, and the universe rewards commitment with chance. So why does this not seem to be something that most people do? Why do so many people stay stuck, frustrated, and disappointed when there are so many books, classes, and other resources about manifestation? It's easy and hard to answer, because it feels wrong to let go. The mind needs to be controlled all the time. Our minds have been trained to think that the more we work, the more we earn. That battle means you are worthy. That getting stronger is what makes it more likely that we will win. It goes against everything we know when we come across a system like quantum manifestation, where unity, alignment, and surrender are the most important parts. Controlling the results is something we do all the time, even though it tells the field we don't trust the process. Let me explain this more clearly. This is what I call the checking trap that most people who have trouble manifesting are stuck in. They are always keeping an eye on their growth. They think about having money, but every few hours they check their bank account with worry. They say they love each other, but all they can think about are texts and dating apps. They say they are healthy, but every morning they check their body for problems. They send a message of doubt to the field by doing this. They are saying one thing on purpose, but sending out the opposite message unintentionally. Why is this so important? The quantum field doesn't speak English or any other language for that matter. It talks in terms of vibrations, and sound is always telling the truth. The field will react to a deeper frequency even if you say all the right things. This is because the field knows that your nervous system is expecting loss, your mind is stuck in worry, and your body is full of stress hormones. This is the reason why lots of people are tired. All of the methods are being used, but they are being used out of stress, lack, and desperation. That's why they make more of the same. Because they're not living in the truth of having, they attract more waiting, more absence, more striving, and more seeking. In the real world, they are living in the need. Now here's something that might surprise you. The speed at which you manifest is directly linked to how safe your nervous system feels. When you're under a lot of stress or in survival mode, your nervous system is always looking for danger and getting ready to protect you. When you're in this state, your brain can't even connect to the neural networks that are linked to creativity, wealth, and possibility. Neuroscientists call the way you're thinking stuck in the default mode network. This is where you think about things based on your fears about the future and the past. But your brain works in a very different way when your nerve system feels safe. This is known as a ventral vagal state. You can think more deeply, come up with creative solutions to problems, and use what some people call quantum intuition, which is the power to sense options that you can't see yet. This is why the most powerful manifestors often look so calm and stable. They've learned to calm their nervous system first, and then manifestation happens naturally because they feel safe inside. The practical lesson is deep. Make yourself safe inside before you try to manifest anything outside. This could mean getting over old hurts, learning how to control yourself, or just creating ways to take care of your nervous system through mindfulness, movement, or breath work. This is even more important because your unconscious mind controls around 95% of what you do every day. Your habits, views, emotional responses, and sense of self are all controlled by this process. You may want to make a breakthrough, but if your mind is stuck in old stories like, "I'm not good enough," it won't let you. "I can never get anything to work. I have to fight for everything," because those stories will break the wave into the same old results. This is why promises that don't have a body feel empty. This is why visualizations don't work if you don't fix your nervous system first. This is why action without a clear sense of identity leads to burnout. What is the answer? You can't just add quantum manifestation to your list of things to do. It's like rebuilding your whole system from scratch. It's a coming back home and remembering. It's about becoming the version of yourself that lives in the reality you want, even before you see proof of that reality. Like if you want to attract money, you should practice feeling rich right now. Not later, not when the money comes in, but right now. You give yourself lots of love, care, and respect. You stop trying to control what will happen and focus on sending a message of trust. You need to love yourself now if you want to be loved. You let your heart be open. You get rid of the walls. You change into the partner you want to find. You stop looking for approval and start living like you're whole, which you are. You shouldn't look for problems in your body. Instead, you should focus on what's working. From just surviving, you move on to living. You show your body appreciation for what it has while gently leading it to better health. And here's the strange thing. It's easier to get when you don't need it as much. It's not because the world is playing tricks on you or testing you, but because you're no longer in the way of the flow. So let me ask you, what parts of your life do you still feel like you have to hold on tight? Where are you still keeping track of, measuring, pushing, and chasing? What would happen if you let go of the handle by 10%? Think about that question for a moment. Now is not the time to be silent. It's about giving up power and working together. And that change, slight, strong, life-changing, is where quantum manifestation really starts to work. The most important truth about quantum creation is right here, in plain sight. It's the part that almost no one talks about. It's this: what you want doesn't come true. What you are comes out of you. It's not just a pretty thought. This is one of the basic rules that governs how the quantum field reacts to you. The field doesn't care what you say, what you put on your vision boards, or how well you write your mantras. You send it a signal with your being, which is your energetic signature that you bring into every moment, thought, and contact. You leave your mark on the world every moment, not by what you do, but by how you are. Let me compare it to something else. Think of yourself as a radio. You don't press for classical music to be played on the radio while listening to a rock station if you want to hear it. The dial needs to be changed. Your frequency needs to match the signal you want to get. It works the same way with quantum phenomena. You can't bring in the reality you want while sending out the energy of the one you want to leave behind. Then how do you change the setting? The first thing you do is become aware of your frequency, how you feel as well as what you think. How does your body move during the day? How do you take deep breaths when you're upset? What stories keep playing over and over in your head? Manifesting isn't something most of us do on purpose. We automatically bring about the same states, reactions, and energetic broadcasts, and the field accurately reflects these back to us. As soon as you break the pattern, the change starts. Not with force or frantic effort, but with simple acts that you do with your body. One small thing that can help is consciously taking a breath when you're stressed, as soft as putting your hand on your heart when you're going downhill. If you were brave enough to ask yourself, what would the version of me who already has this do right now? And then do something small from that place. Because they don't tell you this. You don't have to be perfect to work in the quantum field. You just have to be steady. When your feelings, thoughts, and actions all go in the same way, you are consistent. It's when you stop calling yourself one thing, feeling another, and acting in a totally different way. It's when everything in your body pulses at the same frequency. The field is pulled towards you when you hit that state, even if it's only for a short time. Things start to change around you in reality. You're already a master manifester, which is something most people don't know. You've been making things happen all your life. You have been doing it, but you haven't been aware of it. Every relationship, chance, and challenge you've had has shown you something about how you were feeling inside at the time. Why are we here? Not to learn how to create. It's to learn how to bring things into your life on purpose and carefully. Just think about it this way. You brought every situation you're in into your life. Your relationships show what you think about love and how worthy you are of it. How much money you have now shows what you think about money and safety. How healthy you are now shows what you think about your body and health. We're not talking about blame or shame here. Realizing how powerfully creative you are and how long it's been working without you realizing it. You make the shift to conscious manifestation when you take responsibility for the energy you put out, but not for everything that has happened to you. You understand that even though you couldn't change the things that happened to you, you can change how you react to them. Things that happen next are shaped by your reaction or energetic frequency. But let's make this useful. Being generous with your attention, time, and energy is just as important as giving money if you want to be full. You have more than enough, even if your bank account hasn't caught up yet. Train your nervous system to feel that way. Practice being vulnerable if you want to be loved. Be brave and open your heart in little ways. To find safety in someone else, you have to become that person. Practice being present if you want to be healthy. Pay attention to your body. Feed it, move it, and give it rest. Do these things from a place of care, not punishment. This is the easy way, but not many people take it because you have to go first. Become the frequency before the evidence shows up. To be the leader, not what you need. Now we'll talk about emotional regulation, which is one of the most misunderstood parts of the whole manifestation topic. A lot of people think that manifestation means always feeling good. It doesn't. It means always being true to yourself and learning how to get your system back on track when you get off track. This means that you should accept your feelings instead of pushing them away. It means letting fear be a part of your life without letting it take over. It means getting smarter about your feelings so you can ride the waves without getting taken away. However, it's important to note that feeling your emotions is not the same as being consumed by them. If you feel fear, for example, you can recognize it. Listen to what it's telling you. and then decide what to do. Fear takes over your life and affects every choice you make when you're filled with it. What's important is what psychologists call emotional granularity, being able to tell the difference between different emotional states and what each one means. You might realize that you're not just feeling bad. You might be worried about a certain result, let down by an unmet expectation, or angry at what you see as slow progress. Your ability to deal with your feelings will improve when you can name them. Being aware of your emotions can help you manifest things because it lets you change your mind fast. You don't have to stay in a low vibration state for days or weeks. Instead, you can know when you're off track and gently bring yourself back into line. The truth is that you will lose track. You will have doubts. There will be times when the old you tries to grab you. That's fine. What makes you powerful is not that you never fall, but how fast you get back up. So let me ask you to do something right now. Take a breath. Pay attention to where you are. In this moment, ask yourself, what reality am I in line with? Which one is it? The one of fear or trust? Is it the one of not having enough or having enough? Is it the one of waiting or getting caught? No judging, just being aware. Because as soon as you notice, you have a choice. Choice is the key to being consistent. This is it, the last piece of the puzzle. I want you to really understand this. Appearance is not a show, it is a habit. You don't just learn it once and forget about it. You live it one moment at a time, every choice you make. A lot of people think that manifestation is all about doing more, like cheating the system or getting better at the method. But the truth is that those who know the most tricks aren't the most powerful manifestors. People who have learned how to stay in a logical state and get back on track when life throws them a curveball. Because the truth is that you will have times that test you. Some days the fear will come back, old habits will whisper in your ear, and the reality you're trying to leave behind will feel like it's calling you back. And that's when you'll want to go back to control mode and push, force, or direct. But the real test of skill is this. Can you keep trusting people even when proof hasn't shown up yet? Can you keep the feeling that it's done even though the world doesn't change? Can you live in the new world for so long that the old one doesn't tempt you? At this point, presence is all that matters. That being said, let's make this happen. Before you grab your phone in the morning, take a moment to think about what frequency you want to choose for the day. Is there a lack or an abundance? Trust or fear? Order or flow? During the day, follow your body's direction. When you move out of balance, your body will let you know. You'll be able to feel the tightness, strain, and contraction. You don't need to judge yourself or freak out at that point. To reset, all you have to do is recognize, breathe, and move on. Ask yourself, what would the version of me that is living in my ideal world choose right now? Then do one small thing from that spot. When you get home at night, before you go to sleep, think about the day again, but this time with appreciation. Where did you fall? Where did you line up? Where did you see your own strength? Being grateful makes unity stronger. Celebrate every win, no matter how small. The art of future memory is a strong skill that most people don't pay attention to. This means remembering your ideal future as if it had already happened every day for a short time. Don't picture it as something you want, but as something you remember having happened. Scientists in the field of neuroscience call this prospective memory. Your brain starts to store the future you want as a real memory. This memory then leads your unconscious choices and actions toward making that future come true. The important thing is to use all of your senses to remember this. In the world you want, what do you see, hear, feel, smell, and taste? What does that life do to your body? What kinds of feelings are there? Your brain will feel these memories more strongly if you can make them very clear and full of different senses. This is not a dream or wishful thought. Neuroplasticity is the same thing that lets your brain learn and grow. You are actually changing the wiring in your brain so that it supports the reality you want instead of the reality you are in now. Now here's something that many people forget. Community is important. We are active and social people. We get along with the people around us. Your system automatically tunes to the vibration of people around you who are practicing coherence, working with the quantum field, and being committed to embodiment. This is why it's so important to take care of your surroundings, both in a physical and an energetic way. Find the people, places, and groups that help you remember who you are becoming. Put things in your field that will remind you of the reality you picked. Let the outside world help you with your work inside. Also, keep in mind that there is no end goal. It's not enough to just get there and relax. Being on the cutting edge of your own development is what it means to live in continuous unfolding. You don't just manifest things. You become a creator, a collaborator, and an aware participant in shaping reality. When you use your wants to become who you're meant to be, not just get what you want, I call that evolutionary manifestation. Every wish you have is really your soul's way of asking you to become a better person. You need to show more love if you want the relationship you want. You need to be more creative and brave to build the business you want to. If you want to be healthy, you need to pay more attention to your body and care more about your health. Manifestation is more than just getting what you want when you look at it this way. It's about changing into a different person. A lot of the time, what you get is not nearly as important as who you become. From this point of view, the whole process of manifestation goes from being a deal with the world to being a partnership with your own growth. You're not trying to change the truth to get what you want. You are letting reality change you into the person you are meant to be, and as a result, your desires will easily come true. The most beautiful thing about this is that the quantum field is not different from you. That's not something you can change from far away. It is something that you are involved with. You're the field. You're the wave. You are both watching and being watched. It's not enough to just ask life to meet you when you tune your frequency. You're making the changes in your life that you want to see. One last thing I want to do is ask you to share one word in the comments that describes the energy you want to carry forward after this. It could be the angle. It could be ease. It could be trust. It could be something that's only yours. Say that word out loud in a small but powerful way. It's like planting a quantum seed, not just in this place, but inside yourself as well. I also want to invite you to join if this has made you feel something. A shift, a recognition, a spark. Let's not just call this a channel. People who are ready to step into their own creative power can come together to make it a live community. You're not just adding your name to a list when you click subscribe. You're part of a group of minds and hearts that are changing what's possible. Thanks for going on this trip with me. Please accept my thanks for being here, paying attention, and having energy. You are not just watching. You are a part of what is happening. Always be in tune, always be in line, and always dance in the field. I have one last offer for you before you leave. Give this video to someone who is ready to hear it. It's okay if some people don't get it. For some reason, though, Someone in your life has been asking the world for this message. When you share this in a conscious way, you join souls who are ready to awaken with each other. The quantum truth is that when you help someone get in touch with their power, you get in touch with your own power even more. The energy you send out comes back to you many times stronger. Be careful when you share this video, though. Send it with love. Have faith that the person who needs it will find it through you. One conscious communication at a time is how we make a shift happen for everyone. People are hearing a frequency that can change their lives when you share information. Thanks for being a part of this quantum wave.